Mikey and Rinne stay in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to Mikey and Rinne Stay In. I am Mikey.
And I'm Rinne.
What did we just do?
You were so jubilant.
Thank you. We just had to tell our dog, Abby, that what'd you say? We are the bosses of you.
We are the bosses of you. She is so obstinate.
Obstinate. That's our word of the week.
Wow.
Yeah. She is. She's just like, she does whatever the fuck she wants on her own schedule. Dude.
Where's that coming from? Oh, it's right there.
Well, hi guys. Sorry about that. We got interrupted by a wonderful FaceTime call from Rinne's sister and our brother-in-law and our little nephew.
So fun.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite FaceTimes.
This is my favorite part of the coronavirus. It's less about the coronavirus, more about the quarantine, is the FaceTime conversations that I've been having with like awesome friends. Dina and Fernando, I talked to yesterday, two of my old friends I haven't talked to in a while. And I've been like, obviously what's the hardest part of everything for me?
Not being the mayor.
Oh.
Not being super social.
Like not being able to go out and like talk to everybody and hug and like, oh man, it's driving me really nuts. So I'm having to really like, Rinne will find out that
reinvent ways to connect with people socially.
Totally. So this is great. I love it. I love technology.
Yes.
I don't remember where we left off.
We didn't. We just started.
Oh, yeah.
How are y'all doing?
Yeah.
We are excited to be here with you. We hope that we can provide some respite from the madness that's definitely in your life right now.
Totally.
We will have an interview. We're trying to coordinate that with Crystal, who's got a new baby.
Oh yeah, new baby. What's his name again?
Cyrus.
Cyrus, cute name.
Yeah. So we will, as soon as we can get her. She has a lot to share about her pregnancy and birth and post-birth, and I'm really excited to talk to her.
Yeah, I love that. And if we can arrange it, like if it happens midweek or whatever, we'll release another episode midweek.
Yeah,
we're kind of like, time is nothing but a construct at this point. I feel like I have no idea what day of the week it is, but it's so we'll just release things as they come. We also are releasing a series of videos.
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to do a little hashtag could have been compost. Basically taking our leftovers and then a couple of things that we may have just like tossed in the compost bin.
Right.
And instead incorporating them into new meals the next day. So,
yeah, totally. Like how to utilize scraps, how to utilize, totally.
So we've got our first, we just videoed our first one, so Mike is going to edit that and work his magic, and then it'll be up on Instagram tomorrow?
Probably tonight.
No, tonight even.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to work on it this afternoon.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us on...
Sunday.
You
won't be.
No.
The podcast will be up. Well, actually, the podcast will be up tonight, too.
All right.
If you stay up late, like I do lately, watching violent TV shows.
Yeah, but stay tuned for that and reach out to us if you have been doing the same, because that is really, it can just jump right in here, that's really been my bindle for the week.
It's the ultimate bindle, I think.
Yeah.
Full utilization.
Yeah, we're really just so much more focused on how can we spend less money on food, how can we have less food delivered to our house and or go to the grocery store. Yeah. And so we've cooked all of our meals at home, and that's just been a big focus, is how can we creatively integrate use all the things.
Totally. And I think, we're eaters. Let's just be real.
God
if
damn
you know us or you listen to the show, if you know us, we've probably had a meal with you where we've embarrassed, I don't know, ourselves or you, I don't know which direction you want to take it, by eating a fuck ton more than you. I think it's your fault because you don't eat enough,
step up.
Listener. I'm not embarrassed about it. I consume what I consume. But we usually finish most of our meals, but we also cook a lot. So like we have a lot of times where we're like, we have more, leftovers of one part of the meal or something, and we always incorporate them into something awesome. And so
we also cook like we are Italian grandmothers.
Yes.
And so we cook for
Oh my God.
It's oftentimes not just 2 people.
Yeah, I'll make food for 24 when we have 4 people coming over. It's insane.
So look out for that, and then we'd love to hear how you are bindling, and also how you're sort of using your food and coping during this
rationing. I mean, one of the things, and I know that like food isn't scarce at this point, but it is. We're like trying to limit our trips to the grocery store. So a couple of the things that I've just been really trying to think about is really meal planning. Before you go to the supermarket. So like, having kind of intention behind what you're going to use things for, I think is a really cool idea. So being like, all right, I'm going to beans are going to become a big part of our diet. And, and I think there's just I think what I'm hoping from the quarantine and from this whole experience is that people really start to, become more intentional about the way that they're spending their money, but also their time. I think that I'm hoping there's going to be kind of a revolution around work out of this, because I'm hoping people that are working from home are like, oh wow, maybe I wasn't working as long as I would have been maybe at my office, but I got just as much done, or I don't know, or I don't have to focus. I don't know. I'm just hoping that there's a big revolution around not having to force people into 60-hour work weeks every week, and can't we be with our families and our kids and our gardens more, and our puppies? But
I think some parents are going to come out of this and say, no, thank you.
And and I totally appreciate that. I'm a little eye-rolly, I must admit, about the, parents bitching about being with their kids all the time. For one thing, because we're trying really hard to have a kid.
No, I know.
And so part of me is kind of I would fucking kill to have a little kiddo to hang out with right now while I'm at home. But I get it. It's all
they're
good.
having to take roles that aren't just
100%.
parental roles, right? And I think that that just places so much strain when you have to be your kid's parent and your kid's teacher.
Totally. No, and I completely get that. But it's also there's just a lot of stress anyways. I mean, it's you're worried about doing your work full time, also having
Keeping
your kid in the room.
Right.
Also the fact that there's this pandemic sweeping the globe that we don't have a handle on.
Right.
And I get it. There's so much, and and we're super lucky right now because we're both, kind of able to be creative in this moment. I'm able to work. I'm actually quarantined right now because I was a little bit sick. I think I had a cold or something, but I don't know. I'm just worried about whether or not if it's something. So I'm going to spend, I think, the 14 days away from work. I'm doing stuff from home, but I also work in the food industry that I work in grocery at this point, which is actually seen as an essential. So
right.
you can still be going in, which I don't think anybody should be going in, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. I was getting off on a tangent there.
You sure were.
Sure, sorry about that. Let me just move my soapbox aside. But yeah, so Rinne's going to be doing her hashtag could have been compost. I think it's a super fun idea.
Yeah.
So my bindles are twofold. One, and we poked on this last episode, but I think bindling or saving money can also be, you can also kind of flip it and look at it like investing in your future. Like, what are the ways that you can help your future self or help future friends or anything like that? And so one of the things I really want to remind people of is service industries of all varieties. This is massage therapists, this is your hairstylist, this is your server and bartender at your restaurant. They can't fucking work right now. Like, they're going to be crushed by this. And they can't work from home, quote unquote. They can't distance while they're working. And so supporting those people and making sure that they're going to make it through this is huge. So one of the ways you can do that is by buying gift certificates. So it's like a CSA program where you give the farm money up front. If you buy gift certificates from your esthetician, your the person who cuts your hair, the person who cuts your beard, the bartender, the owner of the restaurant, you buy gift certificates that you'll be able to use when these things when everything reopens and everything calms down. This is a way to help them get through, and I just think really look at it as investing in our collective future. And if you have someone in your world that you love and you want to see them survive through this and be able to provide whatever service it is after this is all done, support them financially.
Can I interject
please,
one thing?
Course.
We talked about this last time.
I know.
But I was prefacing my thing that I'm about to say. I talked about this last time, but doing a review. Your favorite, the person that cuts your hair, your restaurant, all those kind of things is a very Bindley way also to do that and to just help to support them in the way that you can.
Totally. And so I'm going to probably talk about this every episode during this, is just like to remind people that like I know that it's like really important to save money and figure out the ways that you're going to kind of intentionally spend and cut the bullshit out of your life. Like I was talking to my friend Jamal the other day. Hey Jamal. And they like cut all the non-essential services out of their lives. Like they're like, amazing. Cut the gym membership, cut, whatever. And it's like, there's so much. This is something I hope that people come out of this without is like, what were the things that we were spending money on that we really didn't need to, and like, how can we be like more intentional? So then this kind of second part of my bundle, and again, it's kind of in the like investing in your future category, but is investing right now. So the stock market's doing crazy things, but there are things that are really good for our society and that are going to really help people out, but that you can also invest in. So Robinhood is an app. It's a free app, and then you don't pay anything to invest. So buying and selling doesn't cost you anything. But it's just, I don't know, I've really gotten into it. We have a couple friends who I'm like talking about things with, and they have kind of more of a mindset for this stuff. But
thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. There's like a lot to be learned about what are the things that are going to be helping us all get through this, and the companies that are going to grow during this crisis. And it's a good thing to invest in. It's a good thing to find your way towards the companies that can help you make money through this process. So if you have a little bit of extra coin that you're I don't have that much money in it. I have a couple $100 that I'm investing at any given time in this particular platform. That was gross. Sorry, I burped.
It was a really slow bubbly.
It was a bubbly burp. Oh boy, I hope you got those high-end headphones on right now.
So sorry.
Sorry. I got really excited about investing. Throwing up on the microphone. But it's just a cool thing to do. And I think it's like, it's an activity. You can think like if you're not really doing much right now work-wise, or you're feeling like you're stressing out, like, I don't know, make some good decisions. Make some money out of it. It's not just for the high rollers and the senators that are insider trading.
Right. No, it's a good point, and the fact that the app, you don't have to put in any money up front, and you can invest as much as you want, right?
Well, I mean, however much a stock, however much stock costs. I mean, some of them, like I have some $5 stocks, I have some $100 and something stocks, and
that's cool.
It's just it's a fun thing to do, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of creative outlets that people should be exploring during this time. I think it's like, that's something I'm going to talk about later, but I don't know. I think it's easy to feel kind of helpless through all of this because we don't have control of things, and we don't, and especially if you either lost your job or you're now like unable to work or I don't know, or the future of your job is unclear. Finding the things that kind of can make you feel like you're actively and intentionally kind of like, driving income or making financial decisions, I think can be really helpful right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I
invest in bullets. Just kidding. Not kidding.
I was also thinking, Mikey and I have been talking about this, that I think it's sort of baked into the culture that we live in to, when you have downtime, you have to it can't just be downtime.
Right, completely.
Right? It has to be, you've got to be creating something or starting your new exercise program or making that art piece you've always wanted to. And I don't know. I invite everyone to maybe, you don't have to do that.
I think you can. I mean, it's like, I think the key to it for me is, what is the thing that you weren't doing enough of before?
Right.
And if that thing was not being quiet and just resting and just taking care of yourself, do that.
Yeah. That
if
you've
that
got
thing,
some permission.
yeah, if that thing wasn't expressing yourself creatively, or like learning how to play the guitar, or you know, one of those things, just do you. But I think the main, and this is what I was going to talk about later, was don't feel like you have to come out of the pandemic with a new company or a new skill or a like, you know, a whole gallery full of paintings that you just did. I mean, you can come out of this with just your life.
Yeah, that's
and well-being and mental clarity, and be like, you won.
Yeah, and feel proud of yourself that you decided to social distance and go you.
Be proud of yourself that you didn't have to go to Miami Beach to get hammered with your friends and then kill your grandparents.
Right. Yeah, I think that I'm definitely feeling a lot of that, this sort of push to make big decisions about my business, some of which I have to make.
Some of it is obviously have to.
But you know, I think that there's some people, I have a friend who is in the kind of holistic health space, and in times like this, she really thrives because she's like, awesome, how can I reinvent? How can I pivot? What can I do? And I tend to be more of a like, oh God, it's scary and I can't make any decisions when I'm scared. And so, so I'm just trying to really get quiet in the moments when I can, and that's when ideas bubble up and I make my best decisions. Because when I'm operating from a panic state, wow, I make real shit decisions. So
and I mean, and then I kind of, where I go in these times is like, you know, if like work is work, and I want to be able to contribute as much as I can in that regard. I love to be the creative, like, problem solver. So I think there's a lot of cool creative problem solvers that are doing a lot of amazing things right now. Even locally, it's awesome. Like Olympia Provisions, which is like a cured meat company.
Amazing.
In Portland. They're nationwide, they're awesome. It's a friend of ours that owns it. But they've started these kind of like bookmobiles. Like it's their delivery vans. They're like filling them with like meat, so they open the doors and it looks like a pantry or like a ice cream truck. But they're calling it the Hambulance.
Fucking brilliant.
It's so awesome. So they're literally like driving around, and you can just wave them down, and you can get all your cured meats.
Mikey loves it so much he's crying about it.
I am crying a little bit. Fuck off. I'm emotional. I've been crying a lot.
And they're playing. Ice cream truck music.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was yesterday. It wasn't The Entertainer, but it was something.
No, it's that. It's that other one. Because The Entertainer is no. It was the. Oh shit! It's like a Russian song, isn't it? Like a Russian symphony.
No idea. I won't be able to.
Yeah. Anyways, but I just love.
Good.
I love shit like that.
Good.
I think it's amazing.
The Ambulance.
The Ambulance. But yeah, so it's and then what I was gonna say is like where I go with these things is like I'm like in the basement. Like there's these cool like these kids in our neighborhood, this family that's having everybody make rainbows and put them up in their windows so that kids can walk around the neighborhood and have a game. And say, oh, there's a rainbow, without having to engage with anybody. They can stay 6 feet away from everybody's property or whatever. Cool. And so I just made a rainbow that we put out in front of our house that says, we got this. We've got this, I think is what I wrote. And I'm making shelves for our house. Like, I'm just like kind of going nuts and like making things, which I love. Yeah. It makes me feel sane.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm going to transition into a...
Transition, baby.
Into a... kind of pro tip, I think.
Sure.
So I'm actually going to be doing this on my business social media, but just really thinking, which is at ACU4Kids, ACUFORKIDS.
You can also look up Portland Pediatric Acupuncture.
Yeah, totally. If you guys want to check that out.
You should.
It's going to be kid specific, so those of you that have, family specific, those of you that have kiddos. But basically what I'm really thinking about is, my medicine can really shine in times of crisis, both because we can help people with anxiety, and then we can also help when people get sick. And because this virus came out of China first, they have made a lot of discoveries about herbal remedies and things like that. But I was really thinking before that, like, how do we keep kids well versus how do we combat illness. And there's Chinese medical wisdom, especially in the ancient texts, which really talks about health as being in balance, particularly with nature. So that looks like finding a rhythm, going to bed and rising at basically the same time. It also looks like, eating as close to as close as you can to home. But
is this, Shinto, like the Shintoism, like isn't there a lot of that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. This is many ancient cultures, right?
Because and yin yang, right? I mean, that's balance.
Because you couldn't eat outside of where you lived, and
right?
You didn't have light, and so you did go to sleep when it was dark out and rise when it was. But we're moving into, and I've talked about this on the show before, when we moved into winter, we're moving right now into spring, which is a very interesting time to be sort of isolating. Because spring, if you look outside, everything is growing and pollinating, and so it is this sort of, if you're feeling in tune with nature, it is this kind of collective time where we want to grow. And to just maybe think through how you can honor that while still social distancing. So, for me, it's been going outside and doing some qigong or doing some yoga, just so that I'm doing certain poses which are really like big and full and making myself like a tree and having people stare at me. But so honoring that movement and that growth without having to like go to a gym or go to a yoga class. And this is, I think, especially important with kids because they are just so much more naturally in tune with the natural world. And so you might be feeling like you've got some caged animals in your house right now. Of course, So really focusing game time, family time on like Twister and wrestling and pillow fights and lots of ways to kind of express that movement. And if you're interested in doing some qigong or things like that with your kids, it's a freaking brilliant time to introduce exercises.
That's really cool. That'll be such a great thing to feature on your website and or feature on your socials.
Yes, I know. Follow me if you're not already. I've committed some time to social media, which I don't often on my business page. So you guys can hold me accountable.
Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you? No, I love that, and it's interesting because you're not big into social media anyways, but especially during this time where we just have some extra time. I've been like following things, and I'm also like, I'm always on my phone more than her, but I'm like watching all the newest news that's coming out of Trump's idiot mouth, and just like I'm like, oh my god, what's the latest thing that's going to be shut down?
Right.
But Rinne has like really, really pulled back, and so I'll be like, Rinne, look at this awesome post of this dog and pig that are friends, and she just won't even look anymore, and I totally get it and appreciate it. So that's what I'm with it. Do you want to go do something else?
Sure. No, you didn't have one more thing that you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. Did I?
I don't know.
No, I had my main thing was just kind of like, don't set expectations for yourself during a global pandemic. Just stay alive and stay happy.
Yes.
No, and it's
stay sane.
Yeah, and we're going to be putting up a lot of stuff, and we just would I think the main thing for me. So there's been all these kind of like questions of like, what's the best thing that's happened for you? Or like, what's a positive thing that's happened out of this? And one of my favorite things that's been happening in our neighborhood is like we've been taking these like 2-hour walks in the morning, and it's so quiet for one thing in our neighborhood. It's quiet, but it's also, there are shitloads of people outside, which is great because it's outside, but I'm also just like a little nervous. There's just a lot of people doing things, and not maybe social distancing as much. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be get off my lawn guy. But one thing that I love is it's very quiet, and we've been walking around, and we've been waving at our friends and neighbors from afar, but you can also like hear, and I think it's because a lot of little kids are home, but maybe it's people that are rediscovering things, but you can hear like pianos playing.
Yeah.
And you can hear like someone playing the trumpet.
Yeah.
And you can hear like someone DJing. And it's like, I don't know, I love the idea. I've always loved the idea of people kind of like just cuddling in and like nesting and like, you know, like working on their little personal space. And so I don't know, there's been a lot of really cool like street art and public art lately.
Oh my God, and so many sweet chalk messages.
Yeah, there's someone that's doing this series of chalk messages around town. I think it's this homeless man who I see doing a lot of those, even when it's not this time. But they're all these like inspirational things like...
What was today? Ghost hug.
Oh, a ghost hug, even though you can't see it, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you go stand there and get a ghost hug. And then another one was, if you lost your smile, you can borrow this one. And there was a big smile on the ground.
I fucking love you, Portland.
Yeah. I hope everybody's doing it everywhere. I think they are. But yeah, my main thing is just like, keep your chin up, find what feeds you, and eat it. Yeah. Whatever that is, you know, just feed your soul. If that's, I don't know, if that for you is like smoking weed and video gaming, do it. If that for you is like, you know, learning a new language, do it. If that for you is like meditating or napping or reading all day, if you have the ability to do any of those things, do it. And especially also if you're working right now, notice the things that really are working for you about you, like working from home. Is it better? Like, let's just try to take the positive things from this and redefine, like make our lives better after this. We go back to kind of our version of reality. Yeah. If there are things that are better, if they're terrible and you hate it, then go back to your old stuff. But I just think that we can learn a lot of stuff in this if we kind of keep our brains on straight.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Mother Nature is thinking that's for sure. She's like, you bitches ain't flying or driving a ton.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know. It's if we get one thing out of this, can it be that
a little environmental win?
Yeah. Can it be that climate change is fucking real? Because
yeah.
it is.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, friends.
All right. At Mikey and Rinne Stay In, we would love for you to definitely follow us on Insta.
Sure.
Because we'll be doing some fun videos and little recipes and food tips and things of that nature.
Yum.
And let's eat at mikeyandrinnestayin.com if you want to send us an email message, which, guys, my mom just did.
Oh, it was the sweetest.
It was the best. It was like a really well-crafted email and so celebratory.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
And we see you, Ro, and we love you.
Ro. Yeah.
So yeah, we love messages. So hit us up.
I know, Venmo if you want to send us money. Just kidding, not kidding.
But if you would like to leave us a 5-star review, we'll take that.
Oh yeah.
We'll take that right to the bank.
We don't have Venmo, but if people wanted to send us money to then we will donate it to wonderful things like getting more PPA for health workers and stuff. I think take whatever money you're going to spend on us and spend it on like the firefighters and ambulance drivers and hospital people in your area.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm not saying I was going to take the money. I'm saying we would give it away.
I think cut out the middleman there.
Yeah, cut out the middleman. I would just give it to someone. Cool. We love you guys, and you'll probably be hearing from us in a couple days.
Yeah, hopefully we can get online with Crystal soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Mikey.
And I'm Rinne.
And tonight, we're definitely...
Ooh.
We're gonna
stay in, and you should too.
Fucking stay in. Don't go... Well, go out and get some fresh air, but don't go out.
Mostly stay in.
But mostly stay in, and don't kiss your neighbor on the mouth.
Please. Ever.
Bye.